is up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Sid. I am back with another video. Yesterday I did not record anything. I was kind of in my head. I was a little still a little like in awe of what has been taking place and what is taking place over the beginning of this week. Today's Friday. We've made it to the end of the week, and I've only posted like one video this week, so bear with me. Bear with me. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the goodness of God. Every day I probably shed a tear, or more than a tear or two, like just thanking God and things like that. But I wanted to get into today, before I run out the car. I'll probably finish this video when I get home because I got 5 minutes before my son gets out of school. But I just wanted to talk about warfare and what that looks like once you have started to see the promises of God begin to manifest in your life, right? Because I'm not gonna say me thinking that the enemy is just gonna be like, okay, you got what God, one of the things God has promised you, so let me ease up. No, he comes 10 times harder. Last night I found myself struggling to fall asleep, and I had this overwhelming sense of fear. Overwhelming sense of fear. I felt like an imposter. I felt like, just all of these things, but I had to remember where fear comes from. And that's what helped me to get to sleep. I had to literally pray myself to sleep. I had to, talking to God in my head and just saying that, Lord, you have not given me the spirit of fear. And these feelings that I'm feeling right now, this is not even who you are and what you're about. You do not bring fear upon us. You bring peace and truth. Truth is what he brings. The enemy is just full of lies, and he wants to have you so tripped up and wrapped up in your mind. And I had to remind myself, I'm no longer there. I'm no longer bound by your tricks. I'm no longer bound by how you move, how you say I'm supposed to move, all of this good stuff, or all of these things that were going on in my head. And I just began to do the opposite of what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to give in and begin to doubt myself and doubt the things of God. But no, because there's so much more. Like, I just kept saying that to myself the other day. Like, this is literally just the beginning. God is still giving me more. Like, that was just it. That was just the beginning, Sid. Like, there's so much more coming down. And I just, once again, sitting in work today, like, all right, Lord. All right, Lord, I'm ready for this, this second shift, because it's just going to continue. When you're in the things of God, you don't just get one thing and then that's it. God takes you from glory to glory, and he means that. When he means glory to glory, you continue to grow, and you continue to stand on your word, and you continue to speak his word. Once you get his promise, you don't you don't let up on God. You don't let up. And I think that's where my fear was starting to arise, because I'm like, God, I don't want to lose this relationship with you. I don't want to lose all that we built. But he's like, God is in the places like where I trust you. God will not give you, he will not start releasing the promises in your life if he did not trust that you could handle the promise and still maintaining your relationship with him. Because now my relationship with him will look a little different. The time that I spend with him will look just slightly different, because now my time is going to be divided between, not divided, but my time will be divvied out to spending time with God, spending time with my now fiance, and spending time with my son. So now it's back to this place of being intentional about spending time with God and not losing that, because I'm like, God, I never want to lose your presence. God, I want to keep you at the center, because without you, this was not possible. Without you, this won't continue to be possible if I don't keep you and allow you to remain my center. And it was some things that me and my fiance need to talk about, just about the coming together, about planning, all of these things. And he had texted me something about like, we'll talk when I get home. And when we used to do that to each other, my head would be spinning. But I'm like, God, I have you, I have discernment, and I have wisdom. And then now I trust that I don't have to worry. What am I worried about? What am I worried about? No, it's not going to be perfect. There will be times of disagreement. There will be times of difficulty. But when God remains your center, you no longer have to worry. And that's what he's been speaking over me and sharing over me and things like that. So I just wanted to share that tidbit really quickly, because I'm about to go get my boy. It's raining out here. I'm about to go get my boy from school, and then I will catch up with you guys as soon as I get back home. It's Friday.
Hey!
Why do you have to be so loud?
Sorry, guys, for interrupting.
No, you can say something. I was just saying that I got Josiah from school, and tell me how your day was today.
Good. Good making choices. Can I have the phone?
Making good choices. You want to say something?
Good. Can I have the phone? Thank you. Hey. So, we're in the car. It's raining outside. And my mom is driving the car. And then we're back on Avenue School now. It's not McGrath. So never mind. Nothing else. It's that's not. This is not our new school. I have been in my other school for. Not other school, this school. I never went to two schools. I didn't. Okay? Okay? Yeah.
So I'm back with you guys when we get home and finish our discussion of what I was sharing with you all.
And I'm about to go to Javon's house, and we already argue a lot. And if we keep arguing a lot, we can't get in trouble. And Javon keeps getting in trouble because if
Josiah thinks he's going to his friend's. Stop it. He thinks he's going to his friend's house, but he didn't even ask his friend's mom. So we're gonna leave that right there. I will catch up with you guys in just 1 second.
Bye.
Okay, guys. So I made it back home, and I just wanted to continue in what I was sharing about how I was allowing a little fear to creep in. But when I got home, the Lord reminded me of what I just read in the first book of Joshua. So Joshua 1, and you go down to verse 9, it says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, and do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And that verse alone blessed me so much, because he's just like, I brought you to it, but that does not mean that I'm going to leave you right here. I'm not going to drop you right here and say, Sid, okay, I did my part and that's it. No, God is ever present. He is Emmanuel. He is God with us. He is forever present with us when we allow him in and when we invite him into all of our life. So I was just so grateful when I was led to even read and study the book of Joshua, because when I was thinking about what I was thinking yesterday and the day before of how I was sitting here worried, stressed, not stressed really, just worried and overwhelmed by the goodness of God. Because when God says he's going to blow your mind, he literally means that. Some things that he does, we don't comprehend in our natural mind. So it's just like, oh God, all right. And so for him to just remind me that be strong and very courageous, and be careful to obey. This is just one of the scriptures. Be careful to obey the law my servant Moses gave you, and do not turn right or left. You may be that you may be successful wherever you go. So it doesn't matter that you have entered into this new season, and it doesn't matter that, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, when you do begin to enter in the promise, remember that there is still, the giants might get bigger. Thank you, Lord. That was so good. The giants might get bigger when you enter into the land, because remember when Joshua and the Israelites, once Moses passed, they were able to enter and cross over. The Lord still instructed them every step of the way. And that's what he is reminding me, that though you've crossed into this new season, still consult me at every turn. And I do, y'all. When I meet, I'm not playing about my relationship with God anymore. I take this thing very serious. I don't tread lightly when it comes to God. I am 10 toes down, feet on the ground, standing firm on him, because he's the one who has brought me to where I am, to be in this sound mind, to be in this right mind. So I make sure that I take the time out to spend time with God and not overthink it, because that's what the enemy wants you to do. Overthinking it, like, okay, Lord, now I need to, do all of this extra things. It is not about works. that any man should boast. There's nothing that we could do. Just like he shared with Martha and Mary in that story of where Martha was in the kitchen cooking it up for Jesus, doing to possibly win over his attention, when all she had to do was sit with Jesus. That is all. He loves us coming to him humbly and just saying, God, I just want to sit in your presence. That's it. I don't even want nothing. And that's how I am sometimes. And sometimes I'm just like, God, I got this laundry list of stuff we need to talk about. Like, Lord, we got to talk. But then there are other times where I'm just like, God, I just want to sit in your presence. And I'm so glad. I am so glad that he is such a good father, that he does not bring you to the promise and then drop you in it and then leave you lost. We are still sheep and we still need a shepherd, regardless of if we arrive or when we are still in our journey or in our path into the thing within us that he has promised us. Like, there are still some things that are still bubbling up down on the inside of me as it relates to business and as it relates to leaving my job and possibly, starting again, because I started a business. I launched my business last year, right? And I launched my business last year. It didn't take off how I expected it to take off, which is totally fine. Like, does not mean that my business is stopped. Doesn't mean that my business is shut down or anything, but it's just been urging to get back into that and just doing what the Lord has placed on the inside of me and continue to use my platform to uplift his name, because this is the kingdom. This is the kingdom. We are the kingdom. The kingdom is within us. And just doing my best to live a life as close to Jesus as I can possibly be, not just by doing what he did, but speaking how he spoke. Jesus spoke about the kingdom. He spoke about his Father. He spoke, I am about my Father's business, even when you enter into, like I said, what he has promised you. But y'all, I just am so grateful. I think that has just been my mindset. It's such a grateful place that I'm in, and I don't take for granted where I am. I don't take for granted just because I'm happy it means I spend less time with God. No, because I know that happiness is temporary, but the joy of the Lord is eternal. It's an eternal joy. So when I seek the Father, I receive joy that surpasses happiness, that surpasses excitement, that surpasses it all, because I know that my Father got me. He got me. If he ain't got nobody else. No, I'm just like but y'all, I just wanted to come on here and share that. I'm not gonna stay before you guys long today. I just wanted to come give you guys a little bit of an update of life, a little bit of update. And like I said, it's gonna be some more things coming through my channel. I have to ask my fiance if he wants to be involved in my YouTube channel or not, because little did he know, he might be involved a little bit more than he think. But and it's just so funny when I say that now. Like, he and I have known each other for quite a long time. I just want to share this really quick. He was the guy who snuck me out of the house for the first time when I was a teenager. And I will never forget, it was he and my best friend back in high school. We used to live next door to one another. And I met him through her. His mom, he used to work for her mom at Wendy's. This and the third. We all ended up working at Wendy's together. It's just a hilarious story. But the night that he snuck me out, we used to have this thing called L&L, right? Late night loving. No loving was going on, right? No loving was going on. One, I was terrified. Two, come on now. No, who needs to be doing that? Like, of course I know better now, but praise the Lord. And so he would come over and it would literally be late night, like I don't know, 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, and I would be dead asleep, like knock clean, slam out. But when that phone rang and the Vea Complicated started playing, I knew what time it was. It was time to go sit in the car and just cheese all up in his face. And that's legit what I used to do. I would be just smiling like from ear to ear, like he has come to see me. I don't know what to do with myself. I would be so nervous. And And so we used to call that time our late night loving. Like, and my best friend used to be involved. And so we would go. This one night, he had pulled up, and it's usually just me and him in the car. If I don't come to him, I used to go to his grandma's house and park my car right in front of his grandma's house, and we would just sit and talk in the car, chat, look, listen to music, and just stare at each other. Like, and then this one particular night, my friend ended up being up too, or she was at my house, and he ended up pulling up, and we both went outside. My best friend lived with her uncle lived with her and her sister too. So we in the car. He usually keep his music on, even though, like, I don't even know how my mom slept through all of this. Like, my mom would literally be in the way back. We used to call it the west wing of the house because she couldn't hear. That's clearly she couldn't hear anything. Anyway, he pulled up that night. My phone rang. Nevaeh, set up in the dark with so long, living my life on my own. Complicated. And so I would hear that song and jump up. We got outside, sat in the car. We was all cracking up. Who knows what the heck we was talking about? We just was having a good time, chilling in the car. She was in the back seat. I was in the you see this crap? My son is hungry, and he decides to yell at the top of his lungs. Okay, Josiah, give me a second. And so, anyway, I'm gonna finish this up real quick. I just wanted to share this part. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I thought it was funny. Anyway, so mind you guys, her uncle lived with them, her and her sister. And so I guess he realized that she wasn't at home. So he was up. He came outside like he usually used to do. Like if she was stayed over my house or she was next door, didn't tell him that she was coming home. Sister, sister. So he starts yelling her name, and we are literally looking at him because we're in the car. He's standing on the porch. I ducked down. She ducks down. And his car was off. Like, he turned the lights off. Or whatever. And he ended up, I don't know if he went back in the house, but somehow Antonio puts the car in neutral. He put the car in neutral and lights still off, and we start to drift down our street. And me and Sissy we are dying laughing because neither of us have ever snuck out the house. We are literally dying laughing, shaking in our boots, scared out of our mind. Like, if our parents and her uncle find out that we just snuck up out this house, we dead. We as good as dead. So that night, we end up sneaking down the hill. I'm thinking he's going to bust a U-turn back around. We end up going to the Waffle House because the Waffle House is real big down south. We end up going to the Waffle House and getting something to eat. But I was so nervous. I had on my blue EC Glass blue soccer hoodie. And this was the first picture that we ever taken together. And oh my gosh. So end up taking a picture that night in the Waffle House, us kissing it. That was on my screensaver. That I posted it on my MySpace. I was just too excited. One, we snuck out for the first time. Two, I get to take this picture with this man. I mean, with this boy that I've been, fawning over, whatever you want to call it. And so a few weeks or so later, I go over to his grandma's house, and it was my turn to pull up. It wasn't super late because my mom was not letting me drive out that late, so I never drove that late. So it's probably sneaking out after church or something. Let me like, Mom, I'm headed home or whatever. Ended up pulling up at his grandma's house, and he told me he had a surprise for me. And he made me this massive, what I mean massive, he made me this giant blanket with that picture. It was like a queen size blanket with that picture of us in the Waffle House kissing. Y'all, I probably cried like a baby that day. He's a little upset with me, so when I tell that story, he's a little upset with me because once we did kind of break it off back then, I tossed the pillow at Obama's inauguration. I brought the blanket with me, I brought the blanket with me to Obama's inauguration because it was freezing that day. I think I still have that picture of me wrapped up in that blanket. I think I'm going to insert that picture. I have a blanket. The last picture of me with that blanket, I was wrapped up in it at Obama's inauguration, his first inauguration. And I contemplated leaving it because it got hotter as the day went on. I was already bundled up. I had my Obama hat on, me and my friend Brett. And I debated. I'm like, am I gonna keep this blanket? Like, we ain't even talking. That I was mad with him. Yeah, I tossed the blanket. He's still mad at me about that because it was such a special. It was our first picture together. We no longer can find that picture. We want to find that picture so bad, but we can't even look at the picture. I went back on my MySpace to try to find it, and I still can't find the picture because that was just one of our first moments, and he just, you know. Anyway, fast forward till now. We ended up reconnecting about 6 years ago on Facebook. I, at the time, had been living in Kansas City, and he was living here in Massachusetts before I moved up. But yeah, I don't even know why I gave y'all a little bit of history, but there you go. You got to find a little bit of a backstory of me and my fiance. We've been knowing each other for a while, for a very long time, since we were teenagers. We are in our 30s now, and it's just funny how things come back full circle. Even though we broke it off again last year, it's just funny how things come full circle. But y'all, I think that's all I'm gonna share for now. I'll see if he wants to be included in more of my YouTube videos and things like that, because I think my content may be changing. It's still going to be the same. It's still going to be revolving around the Word of God and how he is impacting my life and how I'm navigating through different seasons. I think that's so important, because I think sometimes we get caught up in the fact that you got the promise that we don't share what happens after. We just like the fairy tale ending, but what really happened? Like, what happened after this? Like, so I just want to keep you guys informed, keep you guys up to date. I just wanted to share that little tidbit. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and I will catch you guys next video. Bye.